what we actually do today, we started out as just a window cleaning company, and we did primarily route work, which doesn't pay a whole lot. And then we got into residential houses and then went from there. And everybody would ask, hey, do you have a pressure washer? No, we don't do pressure washing. Yeah, we do a little bit. We don't advertise, blah, 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 blah. Grew. And now we go out with a big 32-foot truck that comes in with big 500-gallon water tanks and bleach tanks and different things. So the truck is set up to pull up to your curb, clean your roof, your gutters, your siding, your house, your driveway, your sidewalk, your fence, your dock, your deck, all of that in one go. And so we've duplicated 5 of those vehicles now. And my guys, they have no idea how spoiled they are. They have electric hose reels. You hit a button, it winds everything in, where I'd be out in South Carolina, 300 feet of hose. That's just one hose reel. You have like 5 or 6 of them to roll up. So we do all those services. We also do commercial, and we're getting into commercial drone cleaning as well.
Quick favor before we jump in. It always surprised me that a large percentage of people who listen to the show regularly haven't yet subscribed. If you're a commercial real estate operator, investor, or builder who values conversations like this around deals, capital, and technology, please take 2 seconds and hit subscribe. It's a simple, free way to support the show. My commitment to you is that my team and I will continue bringing you higher level operators, stronger conversations, and real execution level insights every single week. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. Welcome back to the AI Edge podcast, where we talk with real operators about how business actually runs behind the scenes, the system, the bottlenecks, and the decisions that drive growth. Today, I'm joined with Burke Allen, COO of Squeegee Clean, a company that has been serving residential and commercial clients for over 2 decades. Burke, I'm looking forward to this one. You built something real, and I think there's a lot of operators out there that can learn on how you think about leadership and execution. Burke, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Lewis. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. Let's start here. When someone asks you, what do you do? How do you answer that?
Well, we just went to a school and showed off all our trucks, and there was a bunch of kids, kindergarten through whatever elementary age. And we told them, after doing some demos, that we play with large squirt guns all day long. And if we get hot, we just squirt each other. But then we said, we clean the ground that you're standing on, and they all looked down at the sidewalk. We said, we clean buildings like behind you. They looked at their school. We said, we clean those really high windows that are really high behind you. And then we shot our water up 30 feet in the air, and they all screamed. And afterwards, there was even a robot there with a police officer, a bomb robot. And they said that we stole the show, that all the kids loved ours better than everybody. So we play with large squirt guns and clean things.
I love that. That is so great. So how did you get started in this?
Sure. So like your business partner, I actually have a master's in counseling. So my wife and I, we moved up from Naples, Florida, up to South Carolina, and we actually wanted a degree. We went to Columbia Bible College, and it changed to Columbia International University. So we both have a bachelor's in Bible, and then we also both have master's degrees. So we're going along and didn't know what we were going to do. There was a guy that came at a window cleaning business, and I joined his business, and he went off to Turkey, become a missionary for a couple of years, and I took his routes. Started out just as window cleaning and over doubled his routes. And then we separated our ways, and we've been doing window cleaning, and then added on pressure washing, and then changed to soft washing, and just grew and grew and grew. And about 5 years ago, we bought our first building, and then we have about 13 trucks now, or 10 or something. I don't know. And here we are. So it's been
Incredible, unbelievable, because 20 years of a service business doesn't happen by accident. So was there a moment where this became more than just a job?
I always used to tell people I didn't know what I was going to do growing up, and I wanted to do like 5 different things. And did it ever become more than a job? It's always been a job, as far as, yes, become more of a job because it's gone into my personal life. So yes, it has always pushed its way, trying to become more than a job.
Was there a moment when you thought, this is more than just a job?
Yeah, when it started becoming beyond me, I realized that, I'm providing for other families, and I'm going out and getting this not for just myself, but providing a place for people to work, a service for people. We're very service oriented in what we do. So I'm a Christian, so we believe that God is in our business, and we try to, it's about people. It's all about serving people and serving them on a high level.
Amazing. So, at what point did you realize this was turning into a real business?
Long time ago, there was a place where I was working at a job, and then I was also window cleaning, and I had to choose. And my dad had gone into many different hats, and my wife's like, "You need to stay laser focused and stay in your lane and go deep." And so at one point, I'd go to my other job, and I'm like, "I'm losing money going to this job where I can do this." And that was at the beginning. At the very beginning, I realized, this is back when I was even working for the other guy, that I realized, I'm like, I'm losing money. I need to go out, and as an entrepreneur child, I would go and mow yards up in Minnesota, secretly competing with my cousin in Texas, learning about his lawn business. And I had this secret competitiveness going on where I've always studied Zig Ziglar and went and visited him and went to a kids camp and set goals. And I've always set out and accomplished whatever was put before me.
Amazing. Did you end up winning that competition against your cousin?
He doesn't know about it to this day. Uh,
Wow.
he's probably an engineer now, but it encouraged me to push forward, and he didn't have to know. It was an
Amazing.
inner drive.
Amazing. Let's break down the company and what the company does. So, break down Squeegee Clean for us. What do you guys actually do today, and who do you serve?
Yeah. So what we actually do today, we started out as just a window cleaning company, and we did primarily route work, which doesn't pay a whole lot. And then we got into residential houses, and then went from there. And everybody would ask, "Hey, do you have a pressure washer?" "No, we don't do pressure washing." "Yeah, we do a little bit. We don't advertise." Blah 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 blah. Grew, and now we go out with a big 32-foot truck that comes in with big 500-gallon water tanks and bleach tanks and different things. So the truck is set up to pull up to your curb, clean your roof, your gutters, your siding, your house, your driveway, your sidewalk, your fence, your dock, your deck, all of that in one go. And so we've duplicated 5 of those vehicles now. And my guys, they have no idea how spoiled they are. They have electric hose reels. You hit a button, it winds everything in, where I'd be out in South Carolina, 300 feet of hose. That's just one hose reel. You have like 5 or 6 of them to roll up. So we do all those services. We also do commercial, and we're getting into commercial drone cleaning as well.
Commercial drone cleaning. Tell me a little bit about that.
So you can only go so high. We have carbon fiber poles where we can clean windows with ultra purified water. They'll go up to 70 feet. So we can stand on the ground, clean windows that are like fifth story windows from the ground. But then there's buildings that are taller, and it's like, we can't get up there. So, we said in 2025, we said in 2025, we're going up. Now we can go up to, it can fly up to 400 feet high. It cleans the building as well as the windows. And then technically by law, you can fly 400 feet above the building or 400 feet left or right of it. So you can go around it and clean.
That is amazing. How much, I mean, can it handle all the hoses and all the weight?
So it has a 55-pound payload, and it's not a cheap barrier of entry.
Nice. Do you have one drone, or how many drones do you have?
Just one right now.
Okay. Incredible. Wow. What are your core services today?
Core services are window cleaning, soft washing houses, building washing, concrete cleaning. Those are our 4 main, but we also have things where we do efflorescence removal, which is the white powdery stuff on brick, rust removal on like the side of buildings and garages and things, and then oil stain removal for companies like the BMW and different dealerships and things like that.
Amazing. I remember my very first business was a painting business, and we had to rent. We never bought the power washer, but we rented the power washer. That thing was powerful. It could take paint off the house. So I would imagine you have to be pretty cautious on the power of this truck.
Well, that's why with our system, we don't actually pressure wash any houses except for maybe a brick bottom or something like that. We actually do a soft wash, which is about 60 psi versus like 3,500 psi. So with my guys, I can hold the gun right up to my hand. It's not going to hurt me. If it doesn't hurt me, it's not going to hurt the paint. Gonna It's not going to damage things. It's not going to do window pops where you're creating an argon gas leak or anything like that. So my guys, it'd be hard pressed for them to hurt something with the amount of pressure.
Amazing. Because I know that handheld one that I had that I used to rent could take paint off a car. I mean, it was brutal.
We told those elementary kids, we said if we put a zero tip on it, a bunch of them had Crocs. We said we could laser right through your Croc and cut off the top. And it's in a rotor. It'll it'll dig a hole right through the cement. So if you put the right tip on it.
What separates you from everyone else in your space?
One of the things is that what we just talked about is the fact that we soft wash, and we were one of the people that first started bringing it into the area and got people used to that terminology. There's a lot of people that soft wash, but they're still using 600 psi, which can still take off paint, and it can still do damage to windows. It can still do striping on houses that have oxidation on them, where you walk up to the house and wipe your finger and it's white, where it's oxidized and they're blowing marks through it, and it makes the house look like Zorro, and you don't know until it dries. You're like, oh, Zorro is here. So with our system, it can't do Zorro marks. It can't hurt us. It can't hurt your windows. It can't hurt your paint. And our customer service, we have about 3 or 4 people that answer the phones. And when we're not here, we use AI to answer our phone.
Fantastic. Excellent. So you are using soft washing along with window cleaning, full exterior cleaning. So you built a reputation over time. What do you think clients actually value the most when they work with you?
I think what they value the most is our entire process from beginning to end, as far as our estimators going out. We try to really over communicate everything that we do with our customers. I try to over communicate to the customer. I've got to over communicate to my employee. I've got to over communicate when we're done. Every sequence along the way is very sequential for getting the customer experience all the way to the 5-star review and to rebooking and hopefully to a service contract.
Amazing. Do you have repeat customers? How often are you power washing someone's house? How often does it need to be done?
So with our soft wash process, it keeps the house cleaner about 40% longer than traditional pressure washing. And because of that, we don't have to service them as much, but it all depends on their environment, how many trees, if they're next to water, if there's spider webs and this type of thing. So I would say every year to every 2 years, I stay in South Carolina, which has one of the highest mold growths. Anything east of the Mississippi, down south and northwest, your house will tell on you after 3 years. That's what I say. Your house will tell on you. So within that 1 to 2 year range, depending on your environment.
Amazing. Even commercial buildings, same thing?
Commercial buildings, we try to do those every year just because of the traffic. And a lot of times they're taller, so they create more shade barrier. So we try to do those more often if we can.
Amazing. Burke, let's talk a little bit about operations. Walk me through how the business actually runs day to day.
So I don't know if you want to start from a customer standpoint.
Well, from the moment the customer reaches out to
Yes.
what happens from there.
So if the customer reaches out, we have people that answer the phone that go through and talk about our process, get all their information. It goes to an estimator. We have multiple estimators in our office who actually physically go out and will go to the house. And then we create a bunch of modules and we estimate out everything on the property. If they ask for windows, they get everything estimated out. Because what we tell the customer is within 6 months, generally what happens is you're going to call back and you said, you did such a great job with the windows. How much is it to clean my dock? And then we'd have to drive out there again and then drive back. That's an hour, half an hour there, half hour back. And you do enough of those and that adds up to a lot of time. So we measure everything out and then we put packages together and go from there.
So you do all the estimating, even if they're not even a customer or even if that service isn't something that they're interested in.
And so it's also, that's treating the customer at a higher level. We're giving them a higher level service. It's also customized to their house. A lot of times I'll ask, is this for my house? It's very much for your house. All the measurements been put in there. We're walking around measuring it, putting in all the little notes about your dog being in the backyard, that the fence needs to be locked, doing mnemonic pegs for memory hooks. This is they're a Clemson fan or they're a South Carolina Gamecock fan or whatever to recognize the house. And then taking pictures of the house. And so our people here in the office, they can pull you up and they said, yeah, I can see your house. I can see the front, the back, the side. We know everything. So we can talk to them from the customer office point of view. And so then they get an email about, if let's say it's scheduled out far, they get an email 1 week prior to us coming out, then another email 2 days before we come out. They get a text message then they get a on the way text when the technicians arrive with their picture, and it says that they did a background check on them. If we go inside their house to do interior windows, they put booties on. They walk around with the customer, do a pre-walk around, look at any dangers. All of our guys analyze all the plants, whether they're hydrangeas, ferns, whatever. We talk about plant care, water before, during, and after, put Tyvek wrap on the plants to protect them if we need to, and they're very sensitive. We'll put a neutralizer and neutralize the plants. We have one guy that's constantly watering the plants so that we're taking a high level of care to the property. And there's a lot of new people that come into our industry every single year and fry up all the plants all across the entire yard. And they're like, yeah, we should have gone with you. Yeah,
Ouch.
probably should have.
Ouch. Do you have bleach in your solution?
Yeah, there's a sodium hypochlorite solution which kills organics on the house. And if you're not taking precautions, you have organics that live around your house that you're not trying to put too much salt and things on them. So we analyze all those things and take all those things into consideration. We even have houses where people work at the zoo and bring home exotic plants, and we're going around there and all the plants like alien. We've never seen any of these things. And so those ones, let's do that in the wintertime when they're all dormant, so take a lot of precautions.
Incredible. It seems like you go above and beyond to blow away the customer.
We try to go above and beyond with customer experience down to our equipment. We buy the best, try to hire the best, treat our employees the best so that they're ultimately the ones that I think we just got 3 5-star reviews that just came in this week.
Amazing.
One of them was on Better Business Bureau, and 2 were on Google.
Fantastic. How do you manage your team in the field?
So the team in the field, they have permissions to do certain things for the customer. If the customer needs certain things done extra on top of it, where they have permission to go out and do those things. I used to work for the Ritz-Carlton down in Naples, Florida. It was the #1 beach hotel in the US, 5-star, 5-diamond, Malcolm Baldrige winner. So there's a lot of things that my wife, and she worked there as well, where we took a lot of those Ritz principles and put them into practice. And with the Ritz-Carlton, I think their employees, I believe, can give up to like $500 for a customer to try to satisfy them to get things on their own taken care of so that that customer is a return customer.
That's amazing. So you use the same principles from the Ritz-Carlton in your business.
Yes. We are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen.
I love it. What does quality control actually look like?
Quality control looks like, so when we first start out, it starts with the office asking questions, and then the estimator going out and actually looking at the property, making sure that looking at all of the light fixtures, like light sockets, are they sealed? They're, the whole different plant things, looking at downspouts where everything comes out. It starts there, and then making detailed notes for our employees. And then we have a large 60-inch television where every morning we have a company meeting, shoot up all the information up on the screen, talk about the different jobs, talk about the notes. And then we even have the person that answers the phone in there, as well as the estimator, along with the technicians. We say this person needs extra, blah, 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 extra care with this, extra care with that. And we go over that so our employees know, and they see the pictures before they go out. They see all the different things. We, notate there's a cracked window. Zorro has been here at this house. We've already had talked about that with the customer. Zorro has been here. We can do an oxidation removal on your house if that's something you want, and get rid of all that and fix that problem. So it starts right from the get-go and completely goes. And then we notate on our CRM. We date everything with a person's name in the office, so we can look back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And we ask to see what's happened, if there were any issues. And then it starts with the customer service, whether they had a bad experience with another person in our industry. What did they do wrong? Let's put exclamation, exclamation. We will never do that. Whatever happened to you, that will never be repeated ever.
Amazing. You mentioned something that really stuck with me: over communication, visuals, making sure the message actually lands. How are you doing that consistently across your team?
So beyond the notes and different things, we communicate by text messages. We have group text messages. And since we're going into the whole AI thing, I'll just segue a little bit into that. A lot of times what I'll do with when I'm traveling to work, I will take a message and I will put it into like Chat GPT, and I have a whole message for our team before I arrive. And so as soon as I arrive, we're able to let them go out and they start working as soon as I get here, and they're going into different directions. That's one of the things we do.
I love it. So let me ask you this, because every operator hits this point. When the business starts growing and you've got more jobs and more customers, more moving pieces, what's the first thing that actually breaks for you?
Usually the equipment, usually the equipment. And that's why we have backups. And I tell people we have backups upon backups upon backups. A $5,000 machine sitting there just ready to go. Rip it out of the package. Let's go.
That's it.
Because when it comes after our pollen season in South Carolina, we're like UPS during Christmas time, and they'll just go on to the next one, the next one. And so we have another truck. Let's go. That truck goes, and then I take off this hat and I put on mechanic's hat, and then and then it gets fun. It was kind of like a little bit like today.
A little bit like today.
A
Nice.
little bit like today.
Excellent. So this is the AI Edge podcast. Let's talk a little bit about AI. We'll flip the switch a little bit. You brought up something interesting before around AI helping with communication, timing, and consistency. Where are you actually seeing that show up in business today?
So with me, just as a start, I study AI in my spare time, listening to things. So I actually have an AI car, and my AI car drives me to work. As I'm driving to work, I click on Grok and have a conversation with Grok, sometimes about the jobs that we're doing. So I'll say, I'm looking for this particular job if I'm having an issue with like some kind of efflorescence or some kind of weird chemical, and I need to know if it's going to react with a certain kind of metal or alloy or particular stone. I'll have a whole conversation with Grok as I'm traveling to work. Then I'll take that information while the car is driving. I'm not texting, and then I'm doing voice to Chat GPT, getting all the information in there for the team. Have it with bullet points and flexing our muscle. Let's do this. So I usually do an encouraging quote of the day. I do something from history that starts with a day, and then it talks and addresses the different team members. If somebody did something really well, it encourages them at that point. If we have a birthday, it acknowledges their birthday. We have big televisions going around our office, and their pictures flash up on there, and it says happy birthday, whoever it is. And it's doing marquees of them celebrating them throughout the week, and or an anniversary, a work anniversary. And then it talks a little bit about the day, and then it's an encouraging message. So then when we get here, if there are certain things they're going around,
So are you driving a Tesla? Is it driving you to work?
yeah.
Amazing. Where does communication actually break down the most? In the office, to the field, or field to the customer, or scheduling?
I would say sometimes between customer service and the estimator. Sometimes the estimator might get something wrong, or maybe something that they're not used to doing, and then my guys are really quick to tell me, hey, this was underpriced. This is what's going on with this. We need to make a change next year. We're going to give it to them for at or no cost this year. There was a canopy last week where we were supposed to do the canopy in the floor. The lady that we were doing it for was on vacation. Someone else was in there. He expected the floor to be done. We went back, drove all the way there, did the whole job, came back to the office, sent him out again. And I said, we're just going to take care of it. We don't want any more confusion or anything. So we were going to do it for free. Just took care of the customer. He's like, you've done our house, you've done our business. It was actually a church. We've done our church before, and everything looked great before. Well, let's make it look great again. So
Amazing, Burke. If you could eliminate one bottleneck completely in your business using systems or automation, what would it be?
you're talking about an ultimate thing. So, we're going to get the Tesla bots in here, fire everyone. The Tesla bots are going to be working. They're actually going to be flying the drones. The drones are going to be doing AI, going and cleaning the building.
You
So,
can't do that to your employees.
no,
Your employees love you.
If you're watching, I'm not going to fire you. There's always the human aspect, but that would be like the pie in the sky, which
Yeah, that's pretty
we
amazing.
don't know in 10 years. We don't know, do we?
We
We
don't.
don't.
We don't. Yeah,
Is
absolutely.
Optimus going to be at your house? I don't know. It might be.
Who knows? They're very, very close. I remember where the robots were basically walking around very, very robotic. Now they are very fluid. It's unbelievable. Some of the jumps that they're doing, especially Boston Robotics, which isn't too far from here, they're doing some things that are just
So I don't know
Terminator style.
if we'll send robots out and they'll be cleaning windows. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Not right now, but we may be coming to that point. Right now, AI is really, really good at anything digitally. It could do it in lightning speed. Whether we're doing it manually now, if we're still doing spreadsheets or follow-ups or any emails or anything like that, all that stuff can be done automated. But as far as moving atoms is what Elon said. If you're a cook or a chef or a builder or any type of carpenter or anybody in the service industry like yourself, those jobs are pretty safe for the time being until you get those Tesla robots out there.
Yep.
We're not there yet, I don't think, but it's
Nope.
coming.
There'd be 1 billion of them built in August. They shut down 2 of the cars. They shut down the Model X and the Model S, and they're going to build bots. 1 million.
Amazing.
And then
I
2
think
million next year.
you're on top of the AI whole revolution and the wave. Amazing how much automation you already have in your business and being on top of everything. I feel like you're in the AI school right now.
I have a lot to learn still.
It's a lot of fun. Let's shift gears a little bit and let's do a little lightning round. You ready? Okay. One habit that makes the biggest difference in your career.
Consistency with treating people like people and treating everybody with respect, no matter what socioeconomic level they're on, and trying to serve people and look for opportunities to serve people and not be just self-serving, trying to basically servant leadership.
I love it. Biggest mistake that you see operators making.
The biggest one is
Sure.
powder coated houses, bringing a pressure washer in there and blowing off all the powder coating off the bottom of them. And then coming back to you and saying, I should have used you. You're about $300 more. How do you fix this? New bricks? I don't know. How do you
I was going to ask you, how do you fix it?
how do you fix that?
You can't.
It's your biggest asset, but you chose the cheap guy that's only in business for 2 years.
Got to go with the best.
It looked on paper good.
Best advice you've ever received.
Gosh, might have to sit here for a while. I'm gonna have to think about that one for a bit.
Oh God, with all your heart.
Serve God. Treat your neighbor as yourself. That sums up the whole law.
That's perfect. That's perfect. From a fellow Christian. What separates operators who last 20 years from those who burn out?
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and saying we got to make this work, and in a lot of prayer. A lot of prayer in the garages, fixing things that you've never been trained to fix. Being an entrepreneur is basically like jumping out of an airplane and building a parachute on the way down so that you don't hit. So I've never learned how to fix engines. Dad said, don't get hit. My dad's dad was a mechanic. He never taught my dad how to do mechanics. I never learned how to do oil changes from him. My dad said, get a sailboat, and I got into sailing. And now I have about 4 machines on each truck. So I have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, like 20 small engines that I have to take care of in 5 trucks. And so I had to learn a lot.
I would
So
imagine.
yeah, go ahead.
I would imagine you have a mechanic.
Well, we have a mechanic for things that are out of my control, but we have to do the oil changes and everything all the time. I know how to do quite a bit and quite a bit of stuff. So I use AI for that too. So I take a camera, like if I have one trailer and I've always had trailer light issues, even on this expensive one. So I go and take a picture of the thing of the 4 wires, and I did it exactly like it's supposed to be, the red wire, the green wire. And the AI comes back and said, your wires are not long enough. You need to trim them back a little bit and try it again. And voila, I would have had to take it to the trailer guy, beg him to try to see if he could spend any time with me if he's there, not picking up new trailers, driving down to Florida, just saving so much time.
Thank God for Grok or ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you're using.
I use all of them. I have all of them on my phone. I have like 6 of them.
What makes you want to use one over the other?
Well, so we pay for the chat GPT so that everything is private in our company. But then when I'm going to just have regular conversations, I don't want to convolute it too much. So then I'll use Grok for more personal type things. And then I use a Perplexity browser. So I use an AI browser primarily for just regular searches that I don't care that someone's going to get any proprietary information on. And then I've experimented with other ones and then using DaVinci or different things to create videos using a lot of different AIs. I'll basically take an AI program, bring it to another AI program, and bring it to another AI program to create a video. So I'll like triple load them for that because one does something better than the other, and then take it back to, and I do it all on my phone. So I try to do all the videos right from my phone.
Incredible. Which is your favorite?
As far as software goes,
Sure.
like
Which one do you use the most? Which one do you communicate with the most? Which is the best writer?
as far as they're all pretty good at writing,
I think so.
but well, I'm talking about video. You're talking about more structure.
Yeah.
I would use ChatGPT because I've trained it enough to use my voice and
Yeah,
it
there
knows
you go.
it knows me better. So I would probably use that one as a writer.
Everyone seemed to switch over to Claude, but I'm
Yeah, I
not
know.
convinced. I personally like Chat. I think it knows me so well. It's like my buddy, right? I mean, it's gotten that good. But as far as video, Gronk is pretty amazing.
Okay. I haven't played too much with video with Grok, so
It's incredible. You can make it talk too, which is incredible. It's quite amazing. But last one, one thing that that you're focusing on improving right now.
working on service contracts so that we are busy during the slower times and working on drone type things right now. So those are my two focuses.
Amazing. I love the drone aspect. Are you the only one that doing drones?
Nope, there's other people that are getting into it. It is a higher barrier of entry compared to a lot of things. So there's a lot to it. You have to be licensed.
Wow.
And so there, you just can't go. In fact, in our business, if anytime you monetize anything, you are supposed to have a drone license if you're monetizing anything. So
Wow. Are you the pilot?
I am the pilot right now. We actually have a guy that's actually getting his pilot's license. So I think he might become the second pilot. So I said, so I think there's a lot of things that overlap here. Do you know about TAFs and METARs and all this? And he's like, I haven't studied that yet. And I was like, you will. And then he'll bring in all the weird stuff that you have to know about the airports. And
Wow. It's got to be quite challenging power washing a building with a drone. It's got to be a
there's a lot of people that get into this and they try to do that right away. There was a guy at a conference I met a couple weeks ago in Myrtle Beach, and I thought that's a really uphill battle, not knowing how to do things on the ground, and now you're trying to learn this in the air. The cleaning aspect of the air, along with, I think it's a lot to chew on as somebody coming in as a new operator for sure.
it's got to be a huge learning curve.
Yeah, there's a,
Bert, for everyone listening who wants to connect with you or learn more about what you're doing and what you're building, where's the best place to find you online?
probably go. You could probably send them right to our website, www.squeegeecleansc.com. If you don't know how to spell squeegee clean, you can just ask ChatGPT or just ask it to find Squeegee Clean Incorporated. And also, you can find us on LinkedIn as well.
Fantastic. I appreciate you coming on, Bert. Thank you very much. What you built is not just a service business, it's a system rooted in consistency, leadership, and actually showing up day to day and doing the work. And I think that is what a lot of people miss. Everyone talks about growth, but very few people are willing to build a structure that actually supports it. This was real. This was grounded. And I know a lot of operators are going to walk away from this rethinking how they run their businesses. So I appreciate you taking the time out and sharing that with me. For everybody listening, make sure you subscribe to the AI Edge podcast and follow Burke and contact him if you have any of the service needs that he can help you with.
We're on every social media platform there is.
Fantastic. Find him, search him, find him on all the social medias.
Type in Squeegee Clean INC for incorporated, and that'll beat out a lot of other ones. And we're in South Carolina.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Burke. I appreciate you being here on the AI Edge podcast, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.
Thanks, Lewis. Appreciate you inviting us.